All right. Hello, everyone. Good morning. I'm going to call this executive committee meeting to order at 9:33 a.m. But before we begin, we are going to start off with a territorial land acknowledgement. We respectfully acknowledge that the SFSS is located on the traditional unceded territories of the Coast Salish peoples, including the Musqueam, Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh, Coquitlam, and Katzie nations. Unceded means that these territories have never been handed over, sold, or given up by these nations, and we are currently situated on occupied territories. We're now going to get to the roll call of attendance. I'm going to go in order as presented on the agenda. When I call on your position, please state your name, your pronouns, and if you have any access needs that need to be met. I will start with myself. Hello, good morning, everyone. My name is Helen. I use she, her pronouns, and all my access needs are met for today. Our VP Internal is not here, so let's go over to our VP Finance and Services.
Hi, everyone. My name is Abby. He, him pronouns, and all my access needs are met.
All right. Thank you for being here. VP University is not here, so let's go to our VPX.
Hi all, Ishana, she, her pronouns, calling in from the stolen and unceded lands of the Kitsi, Semiahmoo, and Kwantlen First Nations. All my access needs are met, but I will be keeping my camera off.
All right, thank you very much. And to our acting VP Equity and Sustainability.
Hello everyone, my name is Arthur, pronouns he, him, and for my access needs, I can attend here, but I might have to leave a little bit at 11 o'clock, roughly for hopefully not too long, and then come back here. If that's okay with everyone.
Okay, thank you, Arthur. We will try to zip through this meeting today so we can keep quorum. Our VP Events is not here. So let's go over to our society staff. Our board organizer is not here today. Let's go over to our facilities manager. John, you have the floor.
Hi all, John here, facilities manager. Pronouns he, him, his. All my access needs are met, but I do have to do some interviews, so I will have to leave at 10, but I'll come back after.
Okay, thank you so much. We don't have our operations organizer here. She's on mat leave. We will need to update the roll call of attendance. Building manager should be facilities manager, and we need to add temporary operations organizer to the list. So I will now pass it over to our temporary operations organizer. Sindhu, you have the floor.
Hi all, Sindhu here, pronouns she, her, hers, and all my access needs are met.
Perfect, thank you for being here. Our PRCA is not here. Let's go over to our admin assistant.
Hello everyone. My name is Fanny, pronouns are she, her. In terms of access needs, I've joined from two computers because the office one does not have a mic. So there's that. But yeah, that's it. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Fanny. Now the confusion is settled because Abby and I were confused earlier this morning. Our VP Events just dropped in. Vibe, you have the floor.
Hello everyone, my name is Vaibhav and my pronouns are he, him, his. Access needs are met. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for being here. All righty, let's now go over to section 4 of the agenda, which is the consent agenda. The motion reads, be it resolved to adopt the consent agenda by unanimous consent. There's nothing on there here. So I'm just going to go ahead and seek unanimous consent. Seek unanimous consent. If you wish to dissent, please do so by using the raise hand function in Zoom. Seeing none, the consent agenda is carried. We're now going to go over to the adoption of the agenda. The motion reads, be it resolved to adopt the agenda as presented. I will move this motion. May someone second this, please?
VP Finance.
VP Finance seconds. I'm going to open the floor for discussion, and I will start off, or Arthur has started off with a list. I will also list myself. Okay, let's go in order. Arthur, you have the floor.
I'd like to have an amendment of the agenda for title Equity Sustainability AVP appointment. I will include the motion title and as well as the motion itself. Yes, okay. The motion itself. The motion itself. I will connect. The title is. The title is this.
Okay, just give me a moment to set everything up.
I have it at the bottom of the doc, Helen. You can copy paste it.
Okay, thank you. So that will be a section for new business. The title is equity and sustainability AVP appointment. The motion reads, whereas the philosophy counselor Ashley Flett has expressed the interest. I was just reading it here, has expressed their interest to become AVP for the Equity and Sustainability Office. Be it resolved to appoint Ashley Flett as the Equity and Sustainability AVP for the remainder of the 2022-2023 term. Arthur has moved this amendment. May someone second this, please?
VP Finance.
VP Finance seconds. I'm going to open the floor for discussion. Okay, seeing none, we will take it to a vote. I'm going to seek unanimous consent here. Seek unanimous consent. If you wish to dissent, please do so by using the raise hand function in Zoom. Seeing none, this amendment is carried. We're now going to go over to Ishana. You have the floor.
Thank you. Yeah, I just have a discussion item, unlocking executive office as a discussion item.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, so Ishana has moved this. I will second this because I was also going to put this on the agenda today as well. I'm going to open the floor for discussion on this amendment. Seeing none, we'll take the amendment to a vote. I'm going to seek unanimous consent here. Seek unanimous consent. If you wish to dissent, please do so by using the raise hand function in Zoom. Seeing none, this amendment is carried. I will now go over to myself, and I ask that everyone give me some patience here because I do have quite a few amendments to bring to the agenda today. My apologies for this. We're going to go right on into it. Okay, so I'm going to start off by amending the agenda to add in a section 6 titled ratification of regrets and a motion 6.1 titled ratification of regrets. And the motion will read, let me copy and paste in here for everyone's accessibility. The motion will read, be it resolved to ratify the regrets of Judith Nagy, VP Internal Organizational Development, and Nicole Giergen for VP University and Academic Affairs. The next thing that I want to amend onto the agenda is a section 7 titled in camera with a motion 7.1 titled motion to go in camera. The motion will read, be it resolved to go in camera for the remainder of the meeting. And the discussion item will be titled Executive Expectations, HR, copying and pasting it in here. The next thing that I'm also going to add to the agenda is a section 8 titled X camera with a motion 8.1 titled motion to go X camera, and the motion will read, be it resolved to go X camera for the remainder of the meeting. Okay, we're now going to have a section 9 titled new business. We already have one item under new business for the AVP appointment. I'm going to add one more new business item. It's going to be motion 9.2. It's going to be titled Student Leader Recommendation for SFU University Committee for the Excellence in Teaching Awards. I'm going to copy and paste this motion and drop it in here. And the motion will read, whereas the Vice Provost and Associate Vice President Learning and Teaching of Simon Fraser University SFU has requested for an SFSS student leader to sit on the University Committee for the Excellence in Teaching Awards, whereas the committee strives to recognize multiple faculty members who excel in making a sustained, substantial, and positive influence while educating SFU students, whereas a recommendation to this committee will be a year-long term ending in September of 2023 and will require a student leader to attend 2 to 4 meetings within the year, whereas the recommended student leader will be officially appointed later on through this committee. Be it resolved to recommend X to sit on the University Committee for the Excellence in Teaching Awards. There's only one seat available for this committee. I'm going to add 2 new discussion items. Instead of it being section 11 on the agenda, it will move up as section 10 on the agenda. I'm going to add item. So Shauna's would be 10.10. So mine will be 10.11 and 10.12. The 2 of them will be as shown here in the chat. 10.11. Executive Office Wi-Fi router, and 10.12 SFSS napping room promotion. And I will also be moving to strike discussion items 11.1 from the agenda because it is a matter that needs to go to the HRP committee. And I'm going to strike discussion item 11.8 from the agenda because the appropriate members who submitted this this discussion item are not in the meeting today. So these are all of my amendments. May someone second these?
VP of Finance.
Second.
VP Finance seconds. I'm going to open the floor for discussion. Seeing none. Okay.
Sorry, Helen, just for
Abby?
clarity, I wanted to ask, you're not just moving 10 point, you're moving the entire discussion section up one section, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Okay. Any more discussion on these amendments? Seeing none, we'll take these amendments to a vote. I'm going to seek unanimous consent here. Seeking unanimous consent. If you wish to dissent, please do so by using the raise hand function in Zoom. Seeing none, these amendments are carried. Abby, I think you have a list above here. Abby, you have the floor.
Thank you. I'm going to move to add an in-camera discussion item called overtime discussion.
Okay. Okay. Abby has moved this. Would anyone care to second?
VP External.
VP External seconds. I'm going to open the floor for discussion. Seeing none, we'll take this amendment to a vote. I'm going to seek unanimous consent here. Seeking unanimous consent. If you wish to dissent, please do so by using the raise hand function in Zoom. Seeing none, this amendment is carried. I'm going to close the speakers list here now and go back to the original motion, which is now amended to read, be it resolved to adopt the agenda as amended. I'm going to seek unanimous consent here. Seeking unanimous consent. If you wish to dissent, please do so by using the raise hand function in Zoom. Seeing none, the adoption of the agenda is carried as amended. Okay, we're now going to go over to section 6 of the agenda, which is ratification of regrets. Motion 6.1 reads ratification of regrets. It reads, be it resolved to ratify the regrets of Judith Nagy, VP Internal and Organizational Development, and Nicole Kiergan, VP University and Academic Affairs. I will move this motion. May anyone second this, please?
VP External.
VP External seconds. I'm going to open the floor for discussion. Okay, seeing none, we'll take this to a vote. Seeking unanimous consent. If you wish to dissent, please do so by using the raise hand function in Zoom. Seeing none, this motion is carried. We're now going to go over to section 7 of the agenda, which is in camera. The motion 7.1 motion to go in camera reads, be it resolved to go in camera for the remainder of the meeting. I will move this. Anyone care to second?
Equally second.
Okay, I saw VP External screen light up, so I'll give it to VP External. I'm going to open the floor for discussion on the motion. Seeing none, we'll take it to a vote. Seeking unanimous consent. If you wish to dissent, please do so by using the raise hand function in Zoom. Seeing none, the motion to go in camera is carried. I'm now going to pause the recording. We are going to open a breakout room. All management will be requested to join this in-camera session. All right, welcome back, everyone. We are back in the main session, and we are now on section 8 of the agenda, which is X camera. We have a motion 8.1 titled motion to go X camera, and the motion reads, be it resolved to go X camera for the remainder of the meeting. I will move this motion. Would anyone like to second?
Equity second.
Equity seconds. I'm going to open the floor for discussion. Seeing none, we'll take this to a vote. I'm going to seek unanimous consent here. Seek unanimous consent. If you wish to dissent, please do so by using the raise hand function in Zoom. Seeing none, the motion to go X camera is carried unanimously. Okay, awesome. We're now going to go over to section 9 of the agenda, which is new business. We have 2 new business items that have been amended onto the agenda today. First off, we have motion 9.1 titled Equity and Sustainability AVP Appointment. Give me one sec here, folks. I'll copy and paste in the chat. And the motion reads, whereas the philosophy counselor Ashley Flett has expressed their interest to become AVP for the Equity and Sustainability Office, be it resolved to appoint Ashley Flett as the Equity and Sustainability AVP for the remainder of the 2022 and 2023 term. Would anyone like to move this?
VP external.
I shall.
Okay, I hear Arthur, so I'll give it to Arthur. Ishana, I think your screen lit up as well, so I'll give you the second, okay? I'm going to open the floor for discussion now. Please list yourself in the chat, and when I call on you to speak, you may speak. Arthur, I will also give you speaking priority as well, since this is your motion. Okay, Abby, go for it.
I guess I'll say a word instead. Ashley's a fairly reliable counselor. She's my vice chair on SPOC, so guess it's good for her. Congrats, Ashley. I know you're not here, but you can watch this on the recording. Congrats.
I'm just going to do ++ in the chat here because I echo what Abby is saying. Ashley has been nothing but a reliable counselor. She's sitting on, I think, 4 committees, I believe, and she's vice chair of SPOC. She's chairing first year engagement. I think she's a part of equity and sustainability as well.
She's the vice chair, by the way. She's
I'm
the
sorry?
vice chair. She's the
Vice chair.
She's the vice chair for the equity. Oh.
So Ashley has put her heart into the society. That should be recognized, and why not through this beautiful appointment. So yeah, if there's no more discussion on this, I'd say we go ahead and take this to a vote. Okay, closing discussion, we'll take it to a vote. I'm going to seek unanimous consent here. Seeking unanimous consent. If you wish to dissent, please do so by using the raise hand function in Zoom. Seeing none, this motion is carried. Ashley, if you're watching this recording, congratulations. Okay, awesome. Let's now go over to the last item in new business, which is motion 9.2. Student leader recommendation for SFU University Committee for the Excellence in Teaching Awards. I'm going to drop it in the chat here. We'll read it out as well. Okay. The motion reads, whereas the Vice Provost and Associate Vice President Learning and Teaching of Simon Fraser University, SFU, has requested for an SFSS student leader to sit on the University Committee for the Excellence in Teaching Awards, whereas the committee strives to recognize multiple faculty members who excel in making a sustained, substantial, and positive influence while educating SFU students, whereas a recommendation to this committee will be a year-long term ending in September of 2023, and will require a student leader to attend 2 to 4 meetings within the year, whereas the recommended student leader will be officially appointed later on through this committee. Be it resolved to recommend X to sit on the University Committee for the Excellence in Teaching Awards. I'll move this motion. Anyone wish to second?
VP Finance.
Okay, VP Finance, I'll hand that over to you. I'm going to open the floor for discussion. Okay, Abby, you have the floor.
Yeah, we discussed this. Senator Elizabeth Ellie, the VP or Vice Provost, University and Teaching and Learning, brought this up to me a couple times the last couple weeks that she wanted SFSS representation on this. I was going to recommend Judith, but she's not here, unfortunately, as she sits on Scoodle. But I'm not sure if it's nomination time yet. I can wait if that's the case. But if it does become nomination time, I'd like to nominate myself as I sit on Scoodle as well.
Okay, I will note that before I officially call for nomination, I'll note it, Abby, but before I officially call it, I just want to ask for other executives if they have questions about this. More than happy to answer. Abby can answer as well because he's involved in Senate. So again, it's a year-long term. So starting from now until September of 2023. And they have a few faculty members to basically you review nominations, and then the committee approves certain nominations to give certain awards to different faculty members within the university. It's about 2 to 4 meetings within the whole year. Senator Ellie said that the Vice Provost She said that it's not an onerous job. It's just you come, sit in the meeting, review the nominations, and vote as a committee. And I only say that this is a recommended, like we are recommending to the university who should sit on this committee, because the SFU committee will officially appoint that person. So just for everyone's clarity. So yeah, questions? Nope. Okay. If there's no questions, I'm going to open the floor for nominations. This is the first call for nominations. I know, Abby, you've already noted yourself down. Okay, list again. Abby, go for it.
I was going to officially nominate myself, but spoilers, I know, crazy. Yeah.
Okay. Abby's officially nominated himself. Second call for nominations. Third call for nominations. Okay, I'm closing nominations here right now. Abby's got his fists ready to go. This is a uncontested election, which means Abby will be officially recommended to sit on the university committee for the for the Excellence in Teaching Awards. So I move to amend this motion by striking X and replacing it with Abby Sheikh Parmar. Give me a sec here. VP Finance and Services. Amending the last clause of the motion for it to read. I'll just drop it in the chat. Last clause, I'm amending it to read, be it resolved to recommend Abby Sheikh Parmar, VP Finance and Services, to sit on the University Committee for the Excellence in Teaching Awards. I will move this amendment. May anyone care to second this?
Equity second.
VP Equity seconds. I'm going to open the floor for discussion on the amendment. Seeing none, we'll take the amendment to a vote. I'm going to seek unanimous consent here. Seeking unanimous consent. If you wish to dissent, please do so by using the raise hand function in Zoom. Seeing none, this amendment is carried. We're back over to the original motion, which is now amended. I'm going to close the discussion for the speakers list. We've exhausted discussion on this, so let's go ahead and take it to an official vote. Seeking unanimous consent. If you wish to dissent, please do so by using the raise hand function in Zoom. Seeing none, this motion is carried as amended. Abby, congrats. You are officially recommended by the SFSS to sit on this committee, and we can't wait for the committee to appoint you. Awesome. Great. We are now going to go over to section 10 on the agenda. No longer section 11. It is section 10 on the agenda for discussion items. We have struck already 10.1 hiring events assistant. That has to go to HRP. We have also struck 10.8 community guidelines for SFSS space. So let me just rearrange this here for a sec because the numbers have changed. So 10, 10, 10. One moment, folks. That's 10.1, 10.2, 3, 4. Just have to do some renumbering. 5, 6, 7, 8. Is Shauna unlocking the executive office? Will be the new 10.9 on the agenda. Wi-Fi router will be the new 10.10, and the napping room discussion item will be 10.11. Okay, we are set. We are ready to go. Let's get right on into it. Okay, let's go to discussion items. Discussion item 10.1, executive SOPs. It was submitted by our VP internal, who is not here. Abby, you have the floor.
Unless someone has something significant they can add to this, I'm going to move to postpone this item until the next meeting.
I have nothing to say on it. So Abby has moved to postpone this discussion item. Anyone Anyone wish to second?
VP external.
Okay, VPX seconds. Postponing, Abby, remind me, I don't have my cheat sheet in front of me. Postponing is debatable but non-amendable, correct?
That's right. That's right.
Perfect. Okay, it is debatable. Okay, seeing no debate, seeing no discussion, we will take the motion to postpone to a vote. I'm going to seek unanimous consent here. Seek unanimous consent. If you wish to dissent, please do so by using the raise hand function in Zoom. Seeing none, the motion to postpone 10.1 is carried, and it will be on the executive agenda in 2 weeks' time. All right. Let's go over to 10.2, hours of work survey. Again, also submitted by our VP internal who is not here. I'm going to ask if our temporary operations organizer, SLO, Sindhu, if you have any backing on this discussion item.
Was this for the hours of work?
Correct?
Yeah, right now it's the same survey that I'm thinking of. It's sitting with the union. They're making some edits as we speak. So we should hear back from them soon, and then we can hopefully have another update in 2 weeks' time.
Perfect. Thank you, Sindhu. Awesome. Anyone else have any questions on this front? Nope. Okay, let's go over to the next discussion item, which is 10.3 accessible shuttle. Again, a lot of these things are submitted by Judith. Unfortunately, she is not here, so bear with us, execs. Accessible or accessibility shuttle, I assume. Sindhu, do you have any idea?
I know this was put forth by a staff member. I'm not too sure what the context was, so Abby might.
Okay, if anything, I do have a very vague idea because it was brought vaguely to me before I went on leave. Abby, have you, just for clarity, did you list yourself for this discussion item or am I just seeing things?
I was going to postpone, but if you have something to say, go first.
Okay, I'll quickly say that a staff member did say that SFU has these shuttle services across campus, and obviously I think during the pandemic they were obviously shut down. There is a need at this point to bring it back, so then students with accessibility needs who need to get from one end of campus to the other end of campus, I think there's a call for advocacy on this point as well. So this is to flag to executives that this is coming our way. There is a need for it. And I will actually give the floor over to our acting VP Equity. Arthur, you've listed yourself. Who knows, maybe you can also take this on. But yeah, you have the floor.
All right, so I'm going to quickly drop it here. I know that there is an accessible shuttle before, because I saw them like maybe once or twice before I came in the VP for like last fall, I believe. I think it's helpful for them to get around, because especially like there are areas on campus where you have stairs and everything that people necessarily can't really use them for the matter. So I think maybe advocate for that, I would say, is a good idea, because the shuttle obviously is helpful for a lot of people on campus who can't use the stairs to navigate around, especially where campus is like on a mountain and you have to use stairs to navigate around campus. So I think it's worth for us to and see what we can do about it, and see where we can do to kind of like push the university back. And because I think the concern right now would be that, with the rising COVID numbers and infection they don't want to like have to shut down the university again, which I probably would get it. So that's my point. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Arthur. I listed myself in the chat here, and I'm going to say that, Arthur, I'm going to task you to reach out to the relevant staff members that did bring this to our table to look into what's the status of the accessibility shuttle. And Fanny noted in the chat, it would be our advocacy coordinator and our DNA coordinator as well, to reach out to them, get some more context on the issue. And then Arthur, I will also ask you to please bring in us executives, whoever you think would be a good helping hand, myself. I'm sure Ishana would love to help out as well. I know Ishana is very passionate about these things. So please ask anyone. Arthur, are you wanting to speak?
Yeah, I do also want to add for Brianna, I have already scheduled a meeting with her and the DNA, some of the DNA folks in next week. So I will bring that up and see where we go from there.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Thank you, Arthur. Anyone else want to speak to this? No? Okay, I'm seeing none. Let's move right along to our next discussion item. It is updating booking systems, submitted again by VP Internal, who's not here today. I'm going to ask management or any other executives who might have anything substantial to say on it. Now is the time. I believe this is maybe the booking system for rooms in the sub. John would be a good reference here, but John is not here, unfortunately. So Abby, you've listed yourself.
I'm given no John or Judah. I'm going to move to postpone this motion until next meeting.
Okay, Abby has moved to postpone this discussion item to the next executive committee meeting. I will second this. Postponing is debatable but non-amendable. So I'm opening the floor for discussion. Seeing none, we will take this to a vote. I'm going to seek unanimous consent here. Seek unanimous consent. If you wish to dissent, please do so by using the raise hand function in Zoom. None, the motion to postpone is carried. Okay, awesome. Let's go over to 10.5 on the agenda, which is mental health first aid, submitted by our VP Internal. And I'm going to ask management if there's anything substantial to say on the matter, because I know management has been working on doing mental health first aid training. 2 out of our 3 managers have already completed the certification, which is fantastic. And one of our managers is still in the process, which is great. I just want to ask management, Sindhu, anything on that end?
Yeah, I'm not sure what the context is, but yes, we have a manager going through this process right now. Maybe this is in reference to a reimbursement, not too sure, but I don't have context on this one either.
Okay, thank you, Sindhu. That's all good. Perfect. Well, at least we all know now, and the society knows that our managers have the respective training, and they will be folks to lean on whenever the help is needed. So yeah, thank you, managers. Awesome. Let's now go over to discussion item 10.6, which is booking meetings on stat holidays, submitted by our VP Internal and Organizational Development. She's not here, but I think I may have an idea on it, and I'm sure our temporary operations organizer probably does as well. But if this is related to the staff context, our unionized staff context, and correct me if I'm wrong, Sindhu, but we as employers should not be requesting any of our staff members to attend meetings that we would, in a hypothetical scenario, book on a stat holiday, just because we'd be going against the collective agreement. Sindhu, I'm correct on that front, right?
Yeah, that is correct. And that goes not just for admin assistants, it goes for, I think, if this is in relation to what I think it is. Also, it would be preferred not to book meetings on stat holidays, not just for admin assistants, but for any other staff members who would like to attend committee meetings.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Sindhu. Any questions on this front? Is that clear to us employers, us execs? Yeah. Okay, so please avoid having our staff working on stat holidays. It goes against the collective agreement. And for that matter as well, I'm also going to say, please avoid having staff work outside of their working hours, because that again breaches the collective agreement. Okay. All right. Perfect. We're now going to go over to 11 point, actually I was wrong on that. It's not 11.8 or 10.8, it's 10.7. Okay, 10.7 discussion item is titled LOAs, or letter of agreements around access to subspaces with groups that have seats on council, submitted by our VP Internal and Organizational Development. I don't have confidence at this time to speak on this front. I have a vague understanding, but I don't have the language to clearly say this to execs. So what I am going to do is I am going to list myself here, and I am going to move to postpone this discussion item to the next executive committee meeting in 2 weeks' time. Would anyone care to second postponing this?
VP Finance.
VP Finance seconds. Opening the floor for discussion. Seeing none, we will take this to a vote. Seek unanimous consent. If you wish to dissent, please do so by using the raise hand function in Zoom. Seeing none, the motion to postpone is carried. And again, my apologies, council. I think Judith will have she is much better at discussing this, since I know she's been looking into it more so than myself. So we will wait in 2 weeks' time for her to give us an update on what this is and what's going on. Okay, let's now go over to 10.8. My apologies, it's not 10.9, it's 10.8, which is unlocking executive office. It was brought by our VPX, Ishana, so I'm going to give you the floor for speaking.
Thanks, Helen. Yeah, I just wanted to bring this up as a discussion item to kind of gauge how execs are feeling about opening the office. Personally, I feel like I'm good for it, but I wanted to see how other folks felt, since this is a collective decision. But let me know.
Thank you, Ishana. I said council earlier, sorry, exec. See, it's ingrained. It's ingrained. Okay, I will list myself here to start off discussion. Again, Ishana, you and I are on the same wavelength here, so thank you for bringing this to the floor, because I was going to bring this to the floor today too. I wanted to say that in a summer executive committee meeting, I brought the discussion item about feeling unsafe, as there were death threats being thrown around against all of us executives at the time. And I've gotten to the point where I feel safe to be in the office and safe to work with all executives, all folks that come into our office space to discuss matters with us. And being that it is the fall semester, this is the first time the sub building is at full occupancy, and we're running under full occupancy. It's probably a good idea for us to have an open door for our executive office space, so students can walk in at any time to ask us questions. We all have our office hours being drawn up as well, being posted online. So this is probably a good time for us to open up the executive office space. So I'm going to be in favor of it. Arthur, you have the floor.
Yeah, I'm gonna say pardon me for a few puns here, but I would say that not unlocking the exact office space is sort of, I would want to say that, but it is not really sustainable long option here, because we do have a bunch of students wanting to ask a question, and we need to be open to have them kind of come to the office space and not having somebody like having to knock our door and just have to answer And that, I don't think like long-term wise, it's not a, I wouldn't say it's not a good outlook for us. And I understand that it's a safety concern previously, but while we do not certain that the issue with safety has been resolved, whether at or now compared to summer, I do think that opening up is a good idea just for the sake of accessibility and also for open student membership to come in and ask a question and hang out. Even though it's supposed to be office based, but we want to be connecting with other students to kind of know what we were supposed to do rather than just hiding away in the office and not like making decisions unilaterally, which is something I strongly disagree. So yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Arthur. Abby, you have the floor.
Yeah, so I have mixed feelings on this. I felt a lot more safe, honestly, with the office door locked, but I know we have to balance that with accessibility and we have to balance that with our duty to the students to be available. So I'm okay with opening up the executive office again.
Thank you, Abby. Okay, perfect. So, any more discussion on this before I'll have a final piece on it? Ishana, you go ahead. I'll go after you.
Sounds good. Yeah, I was just wondering, to open it, would we have to have like a formal motion for that?
I swear we're like telepathy at this point, whatever it is. So I'm gonna say no. I don't think there is a real need to have a formal motion. We're a majority of us here that have spoken are all in consensus to open this up. So instead of going through the arduous process of Robert's Rules of Order, I will say it right here, right now, it is an extremely arduous process. Since the majority of us have consensus to open up the office space, I'm going to say that I will contact John, our facilities manager, and just let him know, just to open it up. Easy peasy. No, thank you. Thanks, folks. Awesome. Great. That is that. We are now going to go over to discussion item 10.9, which is executive office Wi-Fi router. Okay, I will start this off by saying that a majority of us, not only do we use our desktops in our office space, but we also use our laptops. I can't go anywhere without my laptop. That is for everyone here. And we also know that SFU Secure, the big university Wi-Fi network, kind of sucks. It's very slow and it's very inaccessible to help us do our work faster and quickly. So the best suggestion that I thought I'd like to bring to the executive committee is for us to invest in a executive office Wi-Fi router, have it installed so that we can, it's okay, Arthur, you don't worry about the muting. Bring this into our office space so that we can connect to Wi-Fi and the internet a lot more quicker, and it'd be a lot more accessible and less finicky, essentially. So I wanted to open it up to the executive committee to see if that'd be a worthwhile thing for us to look into. Abby, you have the floor.
In one word, yes. In a longer form, yeah. Again, yes, it makes sense because it's something that executives, not just us, but beyond us, will use. I know executives who, for whatever reason, can't use their hardwired connection, or if they want to take a separate meeting, let's say like me and Vaibhav are in the office and one of us wants to have like not the other person talking at the same time, we might use a Wi-Fi, and the Wi-Fi here, I'm trying to think of how to say this without swearing, is really bad. There we go. I was going to use a different word, but it's really bad. So I think not just for us, but also for counselors who come in here to work, and for others, when this is open up, if students come in here and work with us as well, having good Wi-Fi, it would be a good encouraging point for students to come visit us as well. So I'm in favor of this.
Thanks, Abby. Ishana's putting +++ in the chat. That's great seeing it. Arthur, you have the floor.
First of all, I apologize, I forgot to mute earlier. But and honestly, okay, here's the thing. I would say yes, we do agree. I do agree that having a router is a good idea, because honestly, like sometimes the Zoom they kind of work out here and there when we were in a meeting. If I'm using my laptop. But also, I think it would be a merit for some of us to look into advocating a SFU to upgrade the computer system because frankly, the internet system, I don't want to say trash, but it's trash. So I don't know. So it's something worthwhile we can look into is that we can advocating the SFU to kind of upgrade the internet system just for the sake of like all students involved. And also like because students that you can now more than ever because some of the courses being online or most of the course material being online, that accessibility point of need is really needed to be looked into. So I think while we should agree that we can have a router in here, we should also look into a wider range of accessibility for all university students to get a better Wi-Fi. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Arthur. And I 100% agree with that as well. Ishana, you have the floor.
Thank you. Yeah, just an update on that from the external side of things. I've actually been lobbying the government to provide more services in terms of providing more financing for better Wi-Fi, things like that. Because Arthur, as you said, we're into like this hybrid type of world where students like they are coming on campus, but even if it's not for class, it's for like an online class. So like the university really needs to like step it up with having like those services available and making it accessible. So I definitely agree, and maybe we can start doing more on the university front too. Something that we all could work on. But that sounds awesome.
Awesome. Thank you, Ishana. Arthur, you have a direct response?
Well, that's for Ishana. I would love to get involved in that just for the taking update for what's happening with that. Because honestly, I was so wanting. I thought you should upgrade it into the system. So yeah, thank you.
Love it. Thanks, Arthur. Abby, you have the floor.
Yeah, I'll give a little update on that from the SFU side. They do have a working group, or no, it's a committee, and it's got like 4 subcommittees about it, about the student experience, and one of them is focused. It's basically Senator Ellie referred to it as the Wi-Fi committee. So they are looking into this. I'm not sure what'll come of it, but just so you guys have that update.
Thanks, Abby. And who knows, maybe at some point we could have a chat with the Wi-Fi committee because it's getting out of hand, the Wi-Fi. Oh, no. Musical spiel for the day. All right, executives, I love this collaboration. I love the energy. Thank you so much. I'm going to say, Abby, do you have capacity to look into some Wi-Fi routers? Maybe pair up with John as well? Because it will be an expense on our end, and you know the numbers, you know the money's better than we do. So Abby, you have the floor.
Yeah, I'll talk to John.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Perfect. Thanks, execs. We're now going to go over to our last discussion item for the day. It is 10.10 SFSS napping room promotion. All right, so I brought this to the floor and I want to give a lighthearted overview of what's up. So the napping room since September 14th has been open to students to basically go down to the first floor and have a nap when they're feeling tired, especially now, being that they're either in midterm season or going into midterm season. We're going to see some students around campus who just need to have a break. And so a fun little thing that we could do to promote this service that we have in the SFSS, we were thinking that maybe having some promo on social media that we have a napping room, we can do fun little videos, boomerangs, we can little sketches, we can work with our comms teams, just so, again, a lighthearted way to inform students that we do have this service in the sub building, and that if you want to take a nap, please take a nap. So I wanted to see if executives would be interested in doing some fun little stuff on that front and working with comms to make it happen. I'm in favor of boomerangs too, Ishana. Yeah. Arthur says, sure. Abby, I think you gave a thumbs up. Awesome. Great. We'll work with comms team. I'll circle back on them and pitch some ideas to them. If you want to be involved in getting the sketches together, please let me know and we'll make it happen. Awesome. Great. Thanks, execs. That is the end of our discussion items section. Before going to adjournment, I do want to give just a little reminder to all our executives that we are now going to be in a routine where it's 1 week an executive committee meeting and the next week being an executive working session. So next Friday from 10:30 to 12:30 is going to be our, 10:30 to 12:30 will be our second executive working session. During our first executive working session, we had Ishana, Abby, and Arthur and myself show up. It was a great time to have informal discussions and to chat and collaborate and talk about our projects and just have a good time at the end of the day. So I hope that the rest of executives, if they can make it, please show up. I think it's going to be the best part of the executive committee, just having these working sessions and vibing together. So just to put that as a reminder, Vibe obviously won't be able to make it if it's just in person. Maybe we'll find a way to Zoom you in. I want to get as many executives in the room, be it online or in person, as much as possible, because these are our times for us to collaborate and you know, network together and bond together as well. So we'll work towards Zooming you in. Okay. Yep. Like what Ishana said, we can make it work. Awesomeness. Let's go right over to adjournment. The motion to adjourn reads, be it resolved to adjourn the meeting at 10:41 a.m. Would anyone like to move this?
Finance.
Finance move, someone to second.
Please, second.
Okay, VP Equity seconds. I'm going to open the floor for discussion. Seeing none, we will take this to a vote. I'm going to seek unanimous consent. Seeking unanimous consent. If you wish to dissent, please do so by using the raise hand function in Zoom. Abby, you've raised your hand. How do you vote?
I'm having too much fun. I don't want this to end, so I'm going to vote against.
Okay, so Abby, that is one dissent, one against the motion to adjourn, but by majority, everyone wishes to adjourn. So this motion is carried by majority. Executives, thank you so much for this morning. We'll see you around. Have a great day. Take care.